My college kids are, well, one kid is home, the other is coming home for Alyssa's birthday, which is next week. She turns 50. 50. Should I have said that? Are we still doing this? Don't talk about someone's age. Do you care? Do you guys care about 651-461-9226?
You asked somebody the other day, you asked a female
Oh, I
guest
did.
what her
Yes.
age was, and we got a text message. Jason, you never ask a woman what her age is. So on some level, it's still a thing.
Do you guys think, is that still, why do we do that? Who cares? 651-461-9226. I want to know where you're at on this, because I feel like I ask this question maybe more than people want me to ask this question. I just think it's relevant to know, right? If you're interviewing a small business person, and we had a guy who opened a sandwich shop in Stillwater. He was on To Russia Eats on Tuesday, and he's only 20. And I thought that was relevant. But, like, is it rude to ask a woman her age? I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's no big surprise that my wife is turning 50, like we're around the same age.
No, and I think ultimately context is everything, right? Is this somebody you know? Is this somebody that you know doesn't really care,
No.
you know, what people think about their age? Or is this somebody that does really care what people think about their age? And then, I mean, what context are you asking? Like, you asked about this young guy, you know, opening a sandwich shop,
right?
Because that's not something 20-year-olds generally do.
Sure.
So the context of it made that question perfectly acceptable.
But the woman who was on from the churros restaurant, like, being honest, the reason I asked is because she looked so young. I would have guessed she was 25.
Right. There's a way to ask it that says, oh, you're just a young person, so you don't, or you're too old to do that. You know what I'm saying? There's a way that you can ask it that is demeaning in the question. And then there's a way to ask it that's just a general question that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I don't think when you asked the question of her, I don't think it was a big deal. I certainly don't. I think it was absolutely a relevant question to the kid.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. You know, I just like to get an age check for people. Should we start every caller? Call in and tell me your age.
No.
651-461-9226.
I'm blocking the lines right now.
Why not? Mary texts in. She says, the new number beats a dirt nap any day. Always happy to age. I think there is this sort of bell curve, right? There's a point where you're ruining age. I feel like I hit the tip of the bell for me, because I was ruining turning 50. I didn't want to turn 50. And then I did. Like, I wasn't worried I was going to die. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you're like, oh, I worry about aging, like, because I'm facing my own mortality. That's not what I was worried about. 50, I'm like, please, I'm only getting started. You guys are going to be stuck with me for decades more. But I didn't want to turn 50 because 50 to me equaled old. And I didn't want to be old.
So as a young person, you're anxious to get older so you can do all your things.
Right.
Then you kind of hit the top of the bell curve there.
40 to 50, you're like, you're doing great.
Then
but
you're,
like 47
then you're worried
to 50,
about and then at some point when you're on the way down, you just embrace it and
maybe that's where Mary is.
I want to say that's very similar to our first topic of being a Minnesota sports fan, where when you're young, it's the greatest thing ever, and this is awesome. And then you get to that point where you're kind of like, okay, this kind of stinks because we don't win, but we're still in it together. This is bonding community,
Yeah.
and then you just embrace the suck.
You might be right. 49-year-old is being entertained with this topic and still has 38 minutes left to drive. I think this is our friend who texted earlier.
Hour and however many.
What is happening with the drive home today, by the way? Like, I know the rain is sort of a deal. Ugh. Asking a woman's age, I think, is okay now, especially when you have an 80-year-old woman dyeing her hair bright red to look like she's younger. I do feel like we've gotten a little more comfortable with this idea of like, yes, we're getting older, and also, yes, we're going to do stuff to look younger, right? Like, you guys know I got a hair transplant. Like, I had a friend ask me the other day who was like, "You're 51, your skin looks so good. What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, first time I went to Tureen Dermatology, Dr. Tureen was like, look, if you're going to be our spokesperson, you got to do a little more than just soap and water," was what she said. Dave is in Burnsville. Dave, what?
Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you? How old are you? Let's just right out of the gate.
Oh, I'm happy to say it. I'll be 60 years old in January.
Congratulations. Is your birthday's right? Are you Aquarius? Are you the same as me?
I'm a Capricorn.
Capricorn, a little earlier in the month. So explain sort of how, well, give me a picture as to what my 10 years are going to be like. What's my next decade going to be, Dave?
Well, here's what you got to look at, Jason. This is tremendous, and it gives you hope and promise. Have you heard of the U curve of life, where you got, if you had a graph,
yep,
on your vertical is your happiness scale, on your horizontal is your age. And as a baby, picture you on that curve. Instead of the bell curve going up,
okay,
it's going down. And as you're younger, your happiness is high. And as you get down to about 47 years old, it's the most stressful, maybe unhappy life on average. But then it moves back upward, and they say the happiest year of your life is 73 years old. And when my dad went through that, I had to ask him, how was it? He said 73 was fabulous. I think it assumes some things, right? Your health and things like that. But that's the promise to look forward to, is 73 might be the happiest year of your life on average. Right?
That is something to look forward to. That does make sense. That you hit a point where you're like the worries about like keeping up with expectations or keeping all of that sort of fades, and you're just kind of glad to be around, you know.
Right, you got those kids through college like you're going through, and then stress kind of lets up, and then you and mama can get to know each other better again and maybe have some fun in life, you know?
You know what? I'm going to bring that up tonight, Dave. I'm going to suggest that with Alyssa. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. Lots of texts coming in. We'll stick with this. 651-461-9226. Drive time back in just a minute.
Drive time with Durusha. Tuned up and rolling. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington.
All right, I promise I did not know this was coming up until Cook said, "Hey, Tureen is next." It's Jason here. Well, you heard my testimonial already. Do you want skin that makes you look like a young AM radio host? Get to Tureen Dermatology. I love Dr. Mohiba Tureen. I love the team at Tureen Dermatology. There are a couple things I want you to think about. First, this is Skin Cancer Awareness Month. Skin cancer is nothing to be messed around with. My dad has, he had so many skin cancerous growths removed. And so I go in every year for a full body skin checkup. I just want to make sure that any marks or moles aren't changing shape or size or color. If you notice one of those, get in right away. And Tureen Dermatology at TAREEN dermatology.com will get you in within 3 weeks. That is fast and maybe quicker depending on what's going on. They save room on the schedule for you because they care. They don't want you to wait month after month after month. Now, Tureen also has a cosmetic part of their practice. I went at first for medical, and then you go to the cosmetic, you're like, oh, there are things I can do to have that kind of youthful glow or to try to prevent wrinkles from developing or dysport or whatever you want to ask questions about. They got you covered. Great people. More than 10 locations all over the Twin Cities. You can get to all of them. Requesting an appointment online at Tureen, TAREEN, dermatology.com.
Chad back here with you. Never forget with Aquarius, making your life better is a high priority for them. It may start with worry-free water or your heating and cooling system. This is an important reason why Aquarius is family-owned and operated. They earn the right to be recommended every single day, upfront, no surprise pricing, 5-star experience, and treating your home with respect. They've been around since 1987. I trust them every single day. Visit AquariusHomeservices.com
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
What are we doing? What's going on?
What are we doing? We're talking about aging. We're talking about if it's appropriate to ask a woman's age. Because I announced that my wife is turning 50 next Friday. It's a week from tomorrow. I should get her something, don't you think, Dan?
Seems a logical idea.
Texter says, Jason, you have to ask a woman's age. You have high school girls that look like they could be in their late 20s. Single people have to be careful who they're hitting on. Now, I think that is true. I would say if you're my age and there's a chance that the young woman is in her late 20s, probably still too young. Right? Like, if it's
you can just not at that point.
There are times that if it's a close call, you gotta move right along. I read, actually, a friend of mine posted on Facebook yesterday that her daughter got hit on in Wayzata by a guy who was in his 50s, and she is 20. And the guy said, after he asked her how old she was, and she said 20, and she looked like a little disgusted by it, and his response was, I've had plenty of girlfriends younger than you.
Oh, that's
like, no.
Wrong response.
That's not the defense you think it is. Let's go to Sherry in Coon Rapids. Sherry's on the John Schuster. Well, yeah, sure. We're going to give John Schuster the sponsorship of our phone line here. Sherry, how old? Well, first, talk a little bit. Where are you on me asking the age of a woman? Don't say your age yet.
I don't think anyone should ever be afraid to divulge their age. It's part of who you are. And the more that you accept the fact that you're aging and you're older every year, I think the better you accept the fact that you are aging. So you can ask, to me, you should be able to ask anyone.
All right, I'm going to guess Sherry's age now because you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
You sound, to me, I'm going 58.
I love you. My children are getting to be that age. I am going to be 79 in July.
No way.
My 80th year. But here's the secret. I have a secret for everyone. And I'm going to take it from Marjorie, used to be the baker at the state fair.
Yeah, right.
Her secret to being older and happy is that you get up every single day and you're joyful. And I even have a needlepoint that says that. Jump out of bed, go stretch, stand up straight and breathe. I can't stand it because so many people my age are slumped over, they walk slow. If they would just stand up and have great posture, all of your organs get the oxygen that they need to be able to support you in a very helpful way. So that's the first.
Dan and I both we both stood up straight. You've got us.
Yeah.
You could just call in every day and tell Dan and I to stand up straight. That would be great.
I'm telling you, if you stand up straight and just breathe like God made you, that's the first thing you do. The second thing you do is that you must stretch. No matter how busy you are, be late for work, get on the floor and stretch out your body. And that prepares you to face the world. I'll tell you what, looking in the mirror has been a challenge. I used to be really cute. Now I'm going to be 80, but I got a new hairstyle. I just started ukulele lessons. I take classes. I keep my brain cells growing, and I look at the world with joy. Not that there isn't sadness, but that's part of getting old. But those few things will change your life.
Sherry, you're the best. I'm so glad you called in. Thank you.
Bye.
That was really nice. Wasn't that great? Textures say, years ago, I gave my sister-in-law a 50th birthday card that said, at least you don't have to worry about dying young.
Trying to remember which birthday it was. It was somewhere in, I think, late 30s, early 40s. My brother turned to me on my birthday and said, you realize your life's half over? Thanks, man.
Texter says, I'm in my 50s. I've had plenty of girlfriends younger than 22. When I was in high school.
Yeah. That's minor asterisk.
I do have a friend who is going through.
And by minor, what I mean is, anyway.
You hit the age where your friends start. Sometimes the marriages, you know, they're not always meant to be forever. And this friend was having dinner with me and Alyssa, and the conversation was over how young is too young, where like one of his factors is like, is Alyssa going to approve of this person? And so what is the number?
He's concerned that the age might issue.
He's younger than us. He's about a decade younger than us. That's how I stay young.
The formula that I've always heard, and you know I like a formula.
Sure.
It's half your age plus 7.
So half my age. I'm 51. I can't do that math.
You can round down.
So
call it 50. Half of 50 is 25.
25.
Plus 7 is 32. So your floor is 32. Our floor is 32.
Yeah.
Which seems
young.
I mean, youngish, but I mean, not unreasonable. It's not like a 50-year-old hitting on a 20-year-old.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even like entertaining this topic because, you know, my wife might be listening.
Think about the show. Think about all the content we could have on this show if Jason DeRusha was in the dating pool.
It would be an absolute train wreck, don't you think?
Well, I mean, but what does everybody do when there's a train wreck? They stop and look. So, you know, again, think of the show.
Good for the show. It's kind of, let's just think about the content. Texters are not believing that our caller was 79. Now, this texter says, my wife turns very young, 65 this weekend. I turned 61. We both look younger than we are. Reason is that we're optimistic every day. Try not to get too caught up in the crap things that are going on in the world, our country, and our state. How about that? I like that. I think that is key. Now, this texter.
I'm responding.
By the sounds of your voices, Jason sounds 55 and Dan sounds 25.
Yeah.
I've always had a bit of an old man voice, right? Or is it that my topics and takes are old man takes?
And I've always been immature for my age, so it all works.
Yeah.